Welcome back. After the introductions of ecology, unit 10, I just going to discuss about the chapter 1, organisms and population. You already know there are 4 levels of organization in ecology. Level number 1, organisms level; number 2, population level; number 3, communities level; number 4, this is the biomes level. Now, organisms and populations is the first chapter, and it is the first organizational level in ecology. So, biological organizations, whenever you start to talk about the environmental science, then the first level is organisms and population. Actually, organisms and populations this is study about the organism level or interactions of the organisms with their surroundings or the environment. That is the actual study material about the organisms and population. How organisms interact with their environment, or different environmental factor how react on the living organisms, and how they try to adapt it. Not only adaptations but also how they can survive in comfortably with the continuity of their life or reproduction. So that is a most important things about the organisms and population. At organisms level, so this is the at organisms level interaction. Actually, at organisms level of interaction, it is known as physiological ecology. As number of factors, environmental factor, bring about specific changes in the functioning of the organisms. Living organisms also adapted to various factors, not only for survive comfortably, but also they can continue their life through reproduction. So here the question is, at organisms level, this interaction is known as physiological ecology. Why it is called physiological ecology? Organisms level of interactions is characterized as a physiological ecology in the means it is specific level, it is individual level, where the single organisms are affected by the number of physiological environmental factors, and that environmental factor whenever react on the living organisms, then they try to adapt, and automatically they change their physiological condition, internal or external. Internal, the anatomical or physiological systems in respect of environmental factor try to adapt the situation. You already know this mechanism is homeostasis whenever it takes place in the living organisms level in with the respect of their external milieu or external environment, whereas in whole the organizational level of environment, that mechanism is cybernetics or control of science of control and regulation is known as homeostasis. So physiological ecology in the sense it only act on the individual level, and individual level whenever then the specific organisms or the particular individual organisms try to adapt their environment by physiological changes or their number of functioning changes. So how it takes place, what the modification takes place in environment, that should be discussed here with a good example. I give you a good example with the actually that's based on the NCERT text also. So this is the actual matter the study level in organismal level of interaction. What the actual popular example for this? You know, the situations of the earth continuously change seasonally, and a particular period of times the situation positions of the earth is changeable. Why? Due to tilting or the rotations of the earth. So tilting or rotations of earth and rotation of earth produces various climatic changes. In their latitudinally. Definitely, the climatic factor most effective climatic factor such as temperature and precipitation. Actual precipitations, it is a rainfall and snow, both. This is the that mean, and we talk about the temperatures and precipitation, it is the mean temperature and mean precipitation which create the most effective climatic factors such as temperature and precipitations produces various types of terrestrial biome. That means this climatic factor effect on the vegetations of the terrestrial vegetation, and they turned into a different type of biomes. In generally, there are the number of biomes such as number 1, tropical rainforest, deciduous forest, coniferous forest, this grassland, desert, and Arctic and alpine. These are the major biomes that generate due to climatic variation. So these major biomes, why that there are different type of climatic variation, climatic factors. Whenever the climatic factor, we talk about the temperature and precipitation. Due to these two factors, that these are latitudinally their difference in different times they change, and that create the different type of vegetation. Terrestrial vegetation, that are collectively are called major biomes, and this is due to the individual interaction with the organisms level. So this is a popular example. That example, that it is generated due to tilting and rotation of earth. You know tilting and rotation of earth. I just describe it in detail. The tilting and rotation of earth create the temperature variation as well as precipitation. So definitely whenever the temperature and precipitation is different in different part of the earth, so definitely they create the different type of biomes. The nature of the biomes only based on the temperature and precipitation here. So there are 6 biomes. One is tropical rainforest, deciduous forest, coniferous forest, grassland, desert, and arctic or alpine. So where the actual position, tropical forest, deciduous forest, and why such type of vegetation, such type of biomes is possible, that's I discuss here. You know, this is the positions of the earth. This is the equator. This is 0 degree. So this zone 20 degree, north or south. This is equator. Longitudinal, this is a 90 degree. This is the subtropical area. Now this is temperate zone, 40 degree, 60 degree. Tropical rainforest. Then coniferous forest, deciduous forest. Deciduous forest, then coniferous forest. This is Arctic, alpine. The mean temperature is low, mean temperature. Mean temperature is very low. Now this is the tropical zone, this is subtropical, this is a temperate, this is Arctic and alpine. So similarly north and south divided. Now this zone is a great diversity, you already know from class 9 10th level. This is the great diversity zone. Why the great diversity is found here? So definitely the environmental factor, temperature and precipitation is a maximum in this area. So that's why there is a diversity is there. So vegetation, the terrestrial vegetation is also the changeable. That's terrestrial vegetation indicate that here the tropical rainforests are very popular this area. So biomes are tropical rainforest, then deciduous biome, then coniferous, then Arctic and alpine. So these coniferous, deciduous and tropical rainforest, this nature of vegetation is changed due to tilting of the earth or rotation of earth. Now what exactly the positions of the all of these types of biomes? What are the different types of biomes on the? I just discuss it in under the table. Under a table. Generally, this is the this is the sun rays. Here the intensity of sunlight definitely they create the more angle. So here the particular area where maximum sunlight is available, so temperature is maximum this area, as well as rainfall also, the mean rainfall or the precipitation is greater than the other biomes. So that's why diversity is also here the maximum. So in organisms level, environmental factor, temperatures and rainfall effect on the organisms and they change, and that changing create the major types, major biomes in the whole of the world. One table, another graph. NCERT, the second page of the chapter Organisms and Population. There is a graph is given. That graph indicates that the different type of biomes on the basis of the temperature and precipitation. So here the tables and graph both are individually expressed here. These are types of biomes. Latitudinal gradients, mean temperature, mean rainfall or precipitation, another is productivity. So types of biomes. Number 1, tropical rainforest. Number 2, deciduous forests. Coniferous, grassland, desert, and last one, Arctic, alpine. We start from the lower level. the Arctic and alpines, and then desert, then grassland, then coniferous, deciduous and tropical, because the this graph of NCRT minus 15 degree centigrade, this is a degree centigrade temperature, mean temperature, this is precipitation, (10 degree, 5 degree, 0 degree. (5 degree, 10 degree, 15, 20, 25, 30, 50 centimeter. The temperature in 0 degree centigrade. 100, 150, 200, 250, 300, 350, 400, 450. So annual rainfall, precipitation is the average or mean annual rainfall that is indicated in y-axis, y and x-axis. This is a y-axis indicate the temperature, mean temperature, this is a precipitation. So this variation generate the different type of biomes. So we talk about the Arctic and alpine. This is the minimum productivity, the minimum range of tolerance, where the vegetation's nature is Arctic and alpine. What's the latitudinal gradients you already know. The tilting and rotation of Earth create the latitudinal gradients. That latitudinal gradients result effect on the biomes also, and mean temperature also, precipitation also, and productivity also. So these variations found in comparable studies. You can remind it very close, very comfortably. You can memorize it very comfortably whenever you follow this graph with the table, as well as the exactly position why such variation takes place by the rotation or the tilting of the earth, how generate the climatic variation that create the different types of biomes. What are these biomes? Arctic and alpine. This is a tilting's actual, whenever you talk about the tilting, this is a 60 to 80 degrees and 80 degree, 60 to 80 degree. You just compare with this earth, whole of the earth, positions of the earth, 0 degree to towards the 90 degree. The 60 to 80 degree tilting, that is Arctic and alpines. Whereas the mean temperature and mean precipitations in case of Arctic and alpines less than, it is a less than 7 degree centigrade temperature, whereas rainfall is very minimum. The rainfalls, whenever talk about the rainfall, this is less than 50 centimeter, 50 to actually range is less than 50 centimeter rainfall, and sometimes it is less than in the sense very minimum level. Now the productivity is only, it is a 30 gram actual biomass production per meter square per year. Low energy level, whenever energy level you compare the kilocalorie, whereas biomass calculations it is a gram. So desert actually, it you know, the whole of the earth, the deserts are the different part of the earth, they are available in desert. The 25, it is a 15 to 35 degree, 15 to 35 degree latitudinal gradients, 15 to 30, 0 degree. So this is 20 degree. So 15 to 35 degree tiltings, that's positions of latitudinal gradients, desert present. Whereas temperature, mean temperature, we whenever talk about the mean temperature, it is less than 22 degrees centigrade. Whenever the precipitation, we talk about the precipitations, that is precipitation is 25, that is 50 centimeter, less, near about the 50 centimeter rainfall, whereas this is a productivity is also minimum, and that 30 to 200 30 to 200 gram per meter square per year. Whereas in grassland ecosystem, in all latitudes, grasslands available in all latitudes. Mean temperatures also less than 25 degrees centigrade. Whereas rainfall, whenever talk about the rainfall, 25 to 75 centimeter. And productivity, whenever we talk about productivity, 200 to 3000 kilocalorie per meter square per year. Coniferous forest. The coniferous forest is definitely in comparison with the three, there is a greater productivity, and nature of the productive biomes is also different. There is in the coniferous forest 40 to 60 degree latitudinal gradients, whereas mean temperature, whenever talk about the mean temperature, 6 to 20 degree centigrade temperature. Whereas mean precipitation is 100 centimeter. And productivity, whenever talk about the productivity, 3000 kilocalorie per meter square per year. Whereas deciduous forest, it is near to the rainfall and precipitations whenever you compare with the tropical rainforest. So deciduous forest is comparatively higher productivity, and the rotations tilting is 20 to 40 degree. 20 to 40 degree, and mean temperatures, whenever you talk about mean temperature, 17 to 24 degree centigrade. And mean precipitations, it is 100 to 250 degree, 250 centimeter, 100 to 250 centimeter per annual rainfall. Productivity, whenever talk about the productivity, it is 5000 to 7000 kilocalorie per meter square per year. Now tropical rainforest, you already know the tropical rainforest is near to the equator, and tilting is 10 to 20 degree. Whereas mean temperatures, maximum, each and every condition is maximum greater than 24 degree centigrade temperature. And rainfall, this is a maximum rainfall found here, 350 to 450 centimeter per year. Productivity is a maximum productivity is a 12,000 kilocalorie per meter square per year. This is the whole scenery of the whole biomes. Whatever the different type of biomes are, major biomes are, these are the major biomes, and their natures of the biomes indicate here. You should remind it is very comfortably, remember it very comfortably. That now this graph you just compare with the NCERT textbook, and these graphs, and you start from the initially Arctic and Alpines. The Arctic and Alpines vegetations, whenever you talk about the Arctic and Alpine, then there is a range is like that. This is the Arctic and Alpine. Minimum temperatures, minimum rainfall, Arctic Alpine. Second position is whenever you compare with the desert. Then desert, grassland. That grassland actual positions is grassland. Start from minimum, and then this is the grassland area, and you just compare with this graph. The grassland is followed by the temperate forest or coniferous forest. Whereas desert, already I given the Arctic, desert, then grassland, then coniferous forest. Coniferous forest, temperate, coniferous tropical rainforest, and coniferous forest is just like this. And tropical rainforest, the maximum temperature, maximum precipitation is here. Maximum temperature greater than 25 degrees centigrade temperature. Maximum rainfall 450, near about 450, 350 to 450. This is a maximum. So high productive area. these biomes indicate that this is tropical, this is coniferous, this is deciduous, this is desert, this is Arctic or alpine, this is grassland. So you compare with this three figure, number one, tilting of the earth, that earth tilting generate the different latitudinal gradients, that's latitudinal gradients create the temperature variation as well as rainfall variation, which generate different types of biomes. So this is a first example. You can prove that how organisms interact with their environment and result the physiological changes. That physiological changes turned into a different types of biomes here. This is a one example. And next, what are the different type of other environmental factor? What are the categories, different classification of the different type of environmental factor? How this environmental factor act on the living organisms and how they adapt, what their adaptations and different changes in takes place in whole of the living organisms and populations level. That's I discuss in next videos. So this is a organisms level and population interaction. Thank you.